Right now, while the whole F1 grid is on holiday, Max Verstappen is sitting on the biggest decision in the sport, and he's saying nothing. The escape clause in his Red Bull contract is active. He can sign for another team for 2027 today, and Red Bull cannot block it. And here's the part almost nobody's talking about. Red Bull have already tried to make this problem disappear with money twice, and both times Max left them hanging. I will tell you exactly what they put on the table in a minute. The clause first, because most people have the details wrong. Max's contract runs to the end of 2028, but there is a performance trigger buried inside it. Outside the top two of the championship at the summer break, and he's free for 2027. That condition was settled weeks ago. The Silverstone DNF killed the maths, so this isn't hypothetical anymore, it's live. And per the reporting from GP Blog and Planet F1, he doesn't have to decide this week. Max has until around October to notify Red Bull, which means every single race between now and then isn't just a race, it's an audition. Red Bull performing for their own driver. Now, the money. According to the Lemberger backed up by Planet F1, Red Bull's first move was to buy the clause itself, literally pay Max to delete his own exit from the contract. He refused. Sit with that for a second. They offered him cash for his freedom and he said no, because for Max a winning car is worth more than a fat check. And per Planet F1, that refusal split the boardroom in half. Shareholder Mark Mateschitz reportedly took it badly enough to consider severing ties with Max entirely. CEO Oliver Mintzlaff is on the opposite side. He reportedly wants Max locked down until 2030. That's a civil war above the team principal's head being fought over for one driver. Then came move number 2, and this is the big one. Bild reports Red Bull have now put a brand new contract on the table, around 65 million euros a season, running through 2029, with the exit clause deleted. Max response: silence. Not accepted, not rejected, nothing. And in a sport where every manager leaks everything, that silence is the loudest thing on the paddock right now. And while the lawyers wait, look at what's happening inside Milton Keynes. Because this is the part that should genuinely worry Red Bull fans. Horner and Marco are already gone. That's old news. What's new is that the exit have reached Max's inner circle. GP Gianpiero Lambiase, the only race engineer Max has ever had in Formula 1, is confirmed to be joining McLaren no later than 2028. Paul Monaghan, chief engineer at the team since 2005, is reportedly already on gardening leave with Cadillac waiting for him. So even in a scenario where Max stays with who? The team he'd be staying for is quietly leaving without him. So say he goes. Where? This is where 2027 gets strange, because there is exactly one door that isn't fully closed, and it's not the one you'd think. Mercedes is shut. Toto is building around Antonelli, and George Russell has flat out said, quote, "I will be driving for Mercedes in 2027. Ferrari is shut. Hamilton and Leclerc, with Leclerc freshly extended, which leaves McLaren. Publicly, Zach Brown keeps repeating that Lando and Oscar aren't going anywhere, that any talks didn't go anywhere. But, and this is the rumor with real legs, ESPN and the others report it was Max's own camp that opened the conversation with Brown back in Austria. And the whisper attached to it is the wildest of the season. A straight swap. Verstappen to McLaren. Oscar Piastri to Red Bull. Brown denies it. The reports keep coming anyway. Someone is lying, and we find out who by October. And if that door stays shut too, Then you're left with the option nobody in the paddock wants to say out loud. Max doesn't sign for anyone. A sabbatical. Maybe more than a sabbatical. He's never hidden that he hates the direction of these 2026 regulations, or that home and family pull harder on him every year. And per multiple reports, a year out, even a full walkaway is genuinely on the table. The best driver of his generation, 29 years old in 2027, watching Formula 1 from his sofa. Sounds insane, right? So did Christian Horner getting sacked? Once. Which brings us to the date that decides everything. August 23rd, Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix. The last one ever, because F1 is dropping the race after this season. Max home circuit, a grandstand wall of Orange Army. Quite possibly the final time he ever races in front of his own people. And depending on what happens between now and October, possibly the final time he does it in a Red Bull. Every camera in the world will be pointed at one garage, reading his body language like tea leaves. If his mind is already made up, Zandvoort is where we see it first. So play it forward with me. Door 1, he stays. Red Bull buys themselves a year of peace, the rebuild continues, and the €65 million question becomes whether the team around him still exists by 2027. Door 2, he forces the McLaren move, silly season detonates, Piastri's future flips overnight, and the entire 2027 grid gets redrawn around one man. Door 3, he walks. Formula 1 loses its biggest star at the exact moment a teenager is taking over the sport. 3 doors, 1 decision, and a man who right now is telling absolutely nobody which one he is opening. So call it in the comments, stay, McLaren, or out. Because the next time we see Max in public, it's Zandvoort, the last Dutch Grand Prix in history. And whatever he's decided, it starts there.